Ready to get your shit together? Isn't that what we are all truly trying to do? In this fun, life-hack-full show, we will learn together how to navigate this roller coaster called life. We, as glorious messy humans, can sit in the proverbial third car, grumpy and bored, or in the front of the roller coaster having the time of our lives. What do you choose? In this show, you can expect meaningful content and practical takeaway tools to make life easier and exceptionally more joyful. There will be epic guests who already love their lives, allowing them to share their get your shit together tips and words of wisdom. Life is too long and too short to not love your life. Welcome to Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. Hello, glorious, messy humans. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. And I'm your host, Amy Joy. Congratulations on your abundance. Right now, I want you to take a look around and notice how abundant you really, really, really are. It's a lot of reallys, right? But aren't we? You have walls, you have a roof. You can smile, you can breathe, your heart's beating 100,000 times and you didn't ask it to. That's abundant. I am feeling very vulnerable today. I had a very hard few days, and so today might be a little more messy than glorious, but we are glorious and messy. And the reason why I am feeling vulnerable and actually sad is because we had to put my beautiful German Shepherd down this morning. And she's was an amazing dog. I had her for six years, rescued her from a shelter. We chose each other instantly. I wasn't even looking for a dog, and we chose each other. And so I'm going to show you a brief video. I know many of you are dog lovers, animal lovers. Gather them close as you watch this and love on them. And if you're on Facebook and can interact, please put the name of your puppy or animal that you love or have lost. Here is Maya.
A baby's born, I see her eyes were made of grace and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? We take first steps and we fall each day, and we take that breath to go on our way. We're made of hope and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you
are? The mouse pad is wet from my tears. It's been a strange day. I've been looking under my feet for her because she's always there. And it's tough. These days are tough. But so blessed and feeling so abundant to be so supported. Thank you for those that follow me on Facebook or on Instagram on Amy Joy Coaching, and have sent so many beautiful notes of encouragement. And what a blessing to love and be loved that fiercely, right? It's amazing. So now it's the time of the show where we change our state, elevate. Whew. So I guess this is pretty much perfect, because this is what this is for, is how to change our state. Now, there's nothing wrong with crying. We need to cry, we need to yell, we need to get this emotion out, but right now is not the time for me to lose it. Right? So I am going to practice and live out what I preach, and that is the diamond of freedom. So I'm going to add this to the screen real fast. Whew, okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to move our body, and the smiling is one of the first things you can do. So I'm going to attempt to smile. And then I'm going to breathe, right? Let's breathe all the way down into the bottom of the lungs, and then exhale. And again, exhale. And again, exhale. Now, if I could move, I would, but I have a bunch of green screens and stuff here. So I'm going to move to the second step, which is change my focus. So what am I focused on? The number one question you can ask yourself is, what am I grateful for? And I am grateful to be here. I am grateful to be able to share some truths that will change your life, that have changed mine. I'm thankful I get to introduce you to Dr. Stephen Schwartz. He's our guest for the week. He's amazing. He's done amazing things for the planet. He has an invention that I get to use every day that is changing my life. And we're going to learn about that and talk about that. And that's amazing. Whew. I am thankful to breathe. I'm thankful to be alive. The third step is to change your story. What am I telling myself, right? So we want to change from the negative, or the story that's making me sad, to something that is true. And the truth is that Maya is fine. She's in peace and she's perfectly happy, and she will always be in my heart. And that's amazing. And then the fourth stage is to connect to source. And so right now I am going to beg for help so that I can do my best for you and for Dr. Stephen Schwartz. And so that we can together learn something new. All right. So that's the diamond of freedom. That's how easy it is. And I'm going to take that off the screen now. All right. Thank you, those on the chat. Thank you for your sweet comments. I appreciate you so much. All right. So we're going to talk about the question of the week, which is, all right. What are the 7 human needs you can't live without? There are 7 human needs. Now, I learned this primarily from Tony Robbins. I've adapted it because I think there were some things missing. And so there are 7 needs. And as I've traveled the world with my boys, it is very evident that we are more the same than we are different. And we have 7 needs, whether you like it or not, if you're a human, these are 7 needs that you have. Now, we can meet those needs beneficially or non-beneficially, but we have them. So I have a slideshow here ready, and I want you to take some pictures because you won't remember this tomorrow. There are 7, and the first one is certainty, the need for certainty. What does that mean? It means you like to know what's going on. You want to be certain. These are people who tend to be accountants, that tend to be surgeons, pilots. They need to be certain for their occupation, or else we could all die, right? So it's a good thing. But it can also be a real pain in the ass, right? Because if everything has to be perfect and nothing is perfect, then it can be very difficult. It can make it really hard. All right. So that's one example. Right now, I want you to ask yourself, where do I need certainty in my life? Is it your closet? Is it your to-do list? Is it your life in general? Is it knowing a vacation planned out all the way? Again, no, it's not bad or good. It's just there's a beneficial or unbeneficial way to meet the need for certainty, and everybody has it. All right, next one is variety. This is the need to spice things up. This is the need for surprises. People who love varieties park in different parking spaces. They try different restaurants. They sit in different places in the room. They tend to move around in jobs. They love adventure, right? And we all have it in us, but we can all admit some have it more than others, yes? All right. I want you to ask yourself right now, where do I need variety in my life? Where do I need variety in my life? Take a minute just to ask the question. Perfect. Third need is significance. The need to be significant, the need to have value, the need to have words of affirmation like attaboy, attagirl, the limelight could be some of it. Nothing wrong with it in and of itself. But if you go and buy an expensive car when you really can't afford it because you need everyone to think that you have money, that doesn't help, because now you're under stress because you can't afford what you bought, and it's all to impress. Yeah? All right. Ask yourself, where do I need significance in my life? Where do I need significance in my life? Number 4 is love and connection. Again, we all have love and connection, but we can meet that need beneficially or non-beneficially, right? There's nothing wrong with love. Love is a beautiful thing, super beautiful. And sometimes we'll stay too long with someone because we want their love, because we need their love, right? So where do you need love and connection? And the next question is where are you meeting it beneficially or non-beneficially? But that comes later, yeah. All right, number 5 is truth and self-expression. Don't we have a need for the truth? When you hear the truth, aren't you like, truth, right? So where are you speaking the truth? Where are you hearing the truth? And are you expressing yourself? We have a need to express ourselves. And if we don't, it's a problem. It's a problem. So where do you need self-expression? And are you doing it in a beneficial way or a non-beneficial way? Right? Are we yelling at our loved ones, or are we calmly expressing ourselves? See how big a need that is for you. Number 6 is awareness. Awareness. This is about being aware. This is about growing. This is about following your intuition, waking up, becoming aware of your thoughts, becoming aware of your actions, following your intuition instead of just going with the program, right? Where do you have the need for awareness in your life? And then the 7th need is the need for connection to all, that we are one, that we are actually connected, actually connected. Just like my dog. I'm going to take this down. I hope you guys got it. I have a beautiful friend. She's going to be on the show next week. Her name's Ruth Miller. She actually is a animal whisperer. I got to speak with her and with Maya in depth on what she wanted and what she didn't want. And I was able to honor those wishes. And that may sound crazy to you, but I'm telling you, it's very, very real. I have another example where I was dating someone and they were working down on the beach. And I was upset about something. And he texted me and says, "Are you okay?" And I didn't want to say anything because he was working and I didn't want to mess him up. And so I said, yeah, everything's fine. And then I used this technique I have, which allows you to cut energetic cords, which is they are to them, I am to me, back with love. And I cut those cords so that he could work. Well, he came home and he was petrified. He was like, are you okay? Are we okay? Because there was this moment where I didn't feel you anymore. You were gone. And I was like, holy cow, I did the cord thing. And he was like, please don't do that again. I know many of you have thought of your mom and all of a sudden she calls, or thought of a friend and all of a sudden they text. This is because we're all connected, right? So there's a need to understand this. There's a need to be able to see how we're connected. All right. So next slide. We ask those questions. I want you to ask which 2 or 3 needs. Whoops, sorry, went too fast there. Which 2 or 3 needs do you need the most? Ask yourself, which 2 or 3 needs do you need the most? And how have having these needs affected your life? So here's the list again. Which 2 or 3 of these needs do you need the most? For me, when I first learned about this, I realized that my needs were love and connection, significance, and variety, in that order. So once you have your 3, I want you to also figure out which is the order, because it matters. All right? Because you get to decide what your primary needs are. You don't have to live with the ones that are running the show right now. You didn't choose those. Those are the program. Because you're right now just finding out that you have 7 needs, right? So which ones are running the show? Just be honest. It's okay. This is becoming aware. We're becoming aware. Now, when I realized this, I didn't like it. I'm like, significance, I didn't like it. And I didn't want that to be my second primary need. And when I look at my life, I could see that absolutely that was running the show. I had to be number 1. I have shelves of trophies to prove it. And yes, it served me in lots of ways, and it hurt me in so many ways. I got so stressed out. I think probably came close to death a couple times just due to stress of the pressure to be good enough. Remember, I had this story that I didn't have value because I was a girl, because I grew up in a community where girls didn't appear to be valued, at least not to me, not from what I could see and what I could hear, right? And so I had to prove myself. So now the question is, which 2 to 3 needs do you want now to take over, to run the show? You get to choose. So I chose love and connection because I'm all about love. I love love. Love is amazing. It's all about love for me. So that's my number 1, still is. And it's more in the beneficial than not now because I'm aware, thank God, because I've been taught just like this, just like you right now. And my number 2 is growth, which is awareness. And my number 3 is connection to all. Because I grow and I learn and I take all these courses and I study so that I can contribute, like I try to do here. So which 3 do you want? And then the question is how do you think that's going to affect your life? How do you think that's going to affect your life? If you look at this, they did a study. They asked everyone what their top 3 needs are. And then they asked the second question, which is, are you happy? And those that were living at the center of the bullseye said that they were happy. Those that weren't near the center did not say that they were happy. So little food for thought there. But this is your choice. You get to choose. Yay! You get to choose. So which 3 are your top 3 and in what order? And then watch the magic. If you want to learn more about it, you can read it in my book, Get Your Shit Together. It's chapter 10. There's a free download in my website there. You can just see the QR code there at Amy Joy Coaching. If you want to go straight to Amazon and get your own copy, you can do that too at getyourshittogether.life. I wrote it for y'all to help reprogram the brain and the mind because it doesn't serve us most of the time unless we reprogram it. And then it's a beautiful, beautiful tool. So I am so excited. It is time for the guest of the week. So excited to introduce Dr. Stephen Schwartz to you. He is a chiropractor, a visionary technology designer, sound alchemist, and regenerative medicine expert. Dr. Schwartz has been specializing in the advanced treatment of chronic illness, allergies, autoimmune diseases, and emotional imbalances since 2000, using exclusively energy and vibrational healing techniques and technologies. You can see why I'm excited to have him on the show. I'm all about frequency. Dr. Schwartz is the founder of Bioharmonic Technologies and the creator of the Vibe system, which optimizes human psychology using full body harmonic vibration and specialized music. He is also the author of Primal Resonance, Discover the Secrets to Health, Vitality, and Optimal Human Performance. This book discusses the top 10 ways to reverse aging and degeneration using sound, light, frequency, and vibration. Put your hands together, put hearts in the chat. This is how we show love here on the show to Dr. Stephen Schwartz. Woo!
All right.
Hi, welcome
Hello,
to the
Amy.
show.
Hello, live streamers.
So happy to have you. I met Dr. Stephen at Abundance Amplifier, which was what, 6 weeks ago or something already? Crazy.
I think it was actually more like 8 weeks ago. I'm trying to think, like, how much time. It was at the end of April. So what month is it?
Huh. Well, yeah. Okay. You're right. Time flies when you're having fun.
Good time.
Yeah, it was an amazing group of people, and so he goes by Dr. Vibe. I know him as Dr. Vibe. It's hard for me to call him Stephen because I didn't know him that way. But Stephen, here, before we get into it, I want you to take a minute with the audience and just tell them a little bit more about you so they have a foundation and can know who you are. And I'll duck out.
Well, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Stephen Schwartz. And I've been a chiropractor since 2000, and I've been specializing with reversing chronic degenerative conditions, allergies, and autoimmune diseases. And I fell into this whole process of working with energy medicine kind of as by accident. My mom had health issues, and I was thinking, what can help my mother? And what we found was energy medicine, and we started working into chronic degenerative conditions, and next thing you know, my entire practice started filling up with really advanced conditions, and I was using nothing more than bioresonant techniques and technologies. We were using things like radionics device, biofeedback devices, lasers, and eventually we got into working with vibrational sound beds. And my next level that really came out of that, I ended up writing this book called Primal Resonance, Discover the Secrets to Health, Vitality, and Optimal Human Performance. And it talks about the top 10 ways on how to reverse aging and degeneration using sound, light, frequency, and vibration. But really what ended up coming out of that, we started developing technologies that are applied sciences for these top 10 principles. And what I started realizing is that chronic illness is actually the opposite of optimal human performance. So if you're going for optimal performance, you look at the things that are out of balance in your body, and these are people, we are physical manifestations of our own energetic expressions. So if your body is breaking down and expressing itself through chronic illness, we can look at that as a roadmap on how to not just reverse that process, but also get to the baseline and then go to the next level above, which is optimizing human physiology. It's the same electromagnetic field pathway. One is over here and one is over here. And we work on all ends of the spectrum now over the last 22 years.
Amazing. I love frequency so much. And when I got on the Vibe, so this is a sound bed that he's created, and I laid down on it, and I started moving, and the energy started moving, and I was like, whoa, this is the real deal. And ended up getting one for my healing center here at Upaya. And I love it. I had a friend come over the other day, Stephen, and he came out, and his eyes, he was like, whoa, that is one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in my life. And I was like, right? So it was really cool. So tell us about the Vibe specifically.
Well, I'm really excited just about this technology because there was a vision. Like I said, I'm a kinesiologist, biofeedback developer, but it all comes down to delivery system. And I was thinking to myself back in 2007, I had these little energy vials that I put into in muscle test, and I had like 1,000 vials. And I was like, it's got to be able to do something other than the vials. I was like, well, what about sound? And I did an experiment where we recreated one of my patients' very severe cat allergy protocols. We treated him in his recording studio to eliminate his cat allergy using sound. And that was the beginning of Bioharmonic Technologies. And a few years went by, I produced 2 albums, and I started thinking about it. I was like, this is not just music that's going through what I call like through the field. It's actually body music. I called it field music, not just like you're laying in a field, but like it's in your energy field, and you can receive it through speakers, but you can also just get it vibrated into your body. So it's a formulation. We use very specialized mathematics for the connective tissue. We use very specialized brainwave states. We use very specialized sacred geometry that's embedded into the music. A lot more to talk about in terms of that, but we have 5 to 7 different ingredients, layers of therapeutics into all the programs that we design. And then it's vibrated into the body very specifically. And I knew this was going to work because I understand human physiology. But what I didn't know was that it was not just going to work, but it works even better than imaginable. And the best part of my job, and if we have the time, I'd love to go over my top 3 needs.
Oh, I'd love that.
My favorite part of the job is literally my community and people telling me stories just like your own, people that are bringing in this technology into their lives, into their centers, into their communities. And it's just exciting. And there's no way I could walk away from this, because it's one thing as a doctor, you tend to generally work one-on-one with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a sensitive being. I'm a creative being. It's not one of my top 3, but my number 1 need is I'm a variety guy. So being in an office is like, let me out of this thing. So I was like, okay, so seeing patients every day on a schedule, not necessarily my thing. But when we started developing biofeedback systems, I began to train doctors. And then doctors could then take these biofeedback systems into their practice, and it was 10x, 100x, 1000x, because it wasn't Dr. Vibe anymore. It was Dr. Vibe training doctors to get it out to the community. When we developed the Vibe, it goes right to the end user. And so now I call it AI Schwartz. It's like they get my programs, but they're programmed and then vibrated into their bodies through the Vibe system, which is an acronym, by the way. It stands for, do you remember what the Vibe stands for? Vibrational, individualized, body enhancement system.
Ooh.
So it's a Vibe system, vibrational, individualized body enhancement system. And now the end users are now able to use it with themselves. They're able to use it in their communities, with their loved ones, with their families. And now what we're finding is that people that are inspired to really connect with sound and frequencies, because what people, like people like you that are on the frequency, what you guys are called? You guys are freaks. Your frequency freaks, FREQU, freaks. You guys are frequency freaks. And so now, and also another term
I love that
is coined, and it's the same name as my app. We are vibrophiles. Like audiophiles are people that love sound. Vibrophiles are those who love vibration. And so you're vibration loving. And so we've created a device that people can receive and lay on. And the number one, and receive these sonic ceutical programs that I developed very specifically with the intention of clearing cellular memory. Oof. How do you clear cellular memory out of your cells? And this is a big thing as a coach.
Yep.
Think about, like, why is certainty? Okay, so my top 3, if I can share.
Yes, please.
My top is, so number 1 is significance.
It is presently, or was?
It is.
Okay.
And I think it always has been. And then number 2 is love and connection.
Okay.
And number 3 is certainty. And I can waver on the certainty aspects, I think, as long as I'm feeling significant and feeling loved and connected. Because I know that this certainty is going to unfold as it should, because I totally am dialed in on my awareness. And I also know that I'm also very well connected to all.
Yeah.
So I don't even put them into my category because those are what I consider to be givens. But the areas that I'm mostly connected with in my life that I'm really needing to, that's going to make me happy, is when
Mhm.
I experience significance and love and connection and certainty.
Beautiful. Awesome.
So thank you
So
for that exercise, by the way. I
you
think I
can
did that with Tony
you can
Robbins.
play with it and imagine, what if I changed the order? What would that look like? What might I do differently if that was the order? What kind of choices would I make if that was the order? Right? So for me, changing significance to love and connection and growth and contribution, I literally changed jobs because I couldn't do that job anymore with my new order of needs, right? So
Well,
and I became a coach, which is in
exactly.
alignment with my needs.
Well, and I think that's the point that I'm getting at is in terms of this, and I don't know if I felt it, I think I did this with Tony Robbins many, many years ago. And I
Yeah.
don't think this was my order, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it
I'd have to
changes.
find my notes, but it's all about cellular memory.
Hmm.
And so you can go through and this is really surprising. Have you ever heard the term the issues are in the tissues?
Yes. I'm a somatic healer. So yes,
And that's why you have a vibe.
that's why I
This
have
is
a
why you have
vibe
a vibe.
and a
So the issues are
biocharger and
in the
all kinds of things.
tissues.
Huh?
And there's so many people now that are working with their, their mindset coaches.
Hmm.
But what about the rest of the nervous system? The mind is just one part. And I'm certified in neurolinguistic programming. I've studied
Hmm.
hypnotherapy, all those things. And I'm a chiropractor. But really, at the end of the day, like, you can reprogram what's in your mind. But what about all the other materials that developed embryologically that
Hmm.
respond exactly the same way, that are impacting you through your environment? Because
Hmm.
we are the brain, but we also are the spinal cord, are the cranial nerves, are the peripheral nerves, are living connective tissue matrix. We're also the integumentary system, which is a fancy term for the skin, which
Right.
also developed during embryologically. And let's see what else. Also the autonomic nervous system,
Yep.
fight or flight response. People that are having, hey, I'm living in whatever my 7 human needs are, and they're not being met. You're thrown into sympathetic fight or flight response, where if you can move a couple things around, all of a sudden it drops you into parasympathetic rest and repose. And what happens, there's a magic innate programming that happens when your body slips into parasympathetic. Do you know what that may be?
Tell
I'm
me.
asking you a question.
I think so, but go for it.
Your body biochemistry is activated through bioresonance, and
Uh-huh.
bioresonance is influenced by our environment,
Yep.
external and internal environment. So parasympathetic, when your body goes into rest and repose, biochemistry automatically is optimized with healing chemistry that is optimized for healing. So whatever health condition that you might be dealing with or having, uh, if you're, if you have cancer, if you have autoimmune diseases, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have addictions, any of these things that, and the list goes on, and whatever you're doing for them as a treatment, if your body is not in parasympathetic, the your ideal chemistry makeup is not optimized.
Yep.
And the number one
Exactly.
thing that the vibe does is it optimizes biochemistry as your body automatically slips into parasympathetic. And in that space, we then have all these different programs that we can specialize in for reducing inflammation,
Yep.
stem cell activation, emotional balancing, clearing negative energy out of your nervous system space and dwelling, envisioning the future, a sonic vision board, abundance amplifier, which is the event that we went to, by the way.
Yes.
So these are all the different programs. So it's essentially reprogramming our biocomputers somatically through the living connective tissue matrix. And that's what I talk about in my book, Primal Resonance: Discover the Secrets to Health, Vitality, and Optimal Human Performance. Because really, I just kept asking myself, well, how do you do that? And let's go to the anatomy and physiology. Let's talk about, like, what is a cell?
Can I just interrupt you just
Please.
real quick? Because I want everyone, all right, to explain it a little bit differently, because He's very, very intelligent. So basically all this mindset stuff is very important, but if you can't change what's in the cells, you can do this forever. And I know a lot of you can relate, where you've tried this and you tried that and you're doing all the things and it's still not working. You're still really stuck. And that means that it's in the cells, it's in the body, and there's lots of modalities to move it out. One of which is the energy work that I do. The other is the vibe. There's tons of different ways that you can move stuck energy out of the cells. But if you go to episode 25 on Get Your Shit Together on E360 TV, there is a meditation there from my spiritual teacher, Sri Preetaji, and it's called Soul Sync. You can also find it on YouTube. And it is amazing, and it is proven to take you out of the sympathetic system into the parasympathetic system, which can literally save your life. So just to give that a little bit of some context, and to give them a tool to use to help with that specifically. But let me show them.
It's another easy modality to bring your body into parasympathetic almost immediately. It's really easy. It's ridiculously easy.
What is it?
Okay, there's two. One is smiling.
Yay!
The other one is deep breathing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're in sympathetic, you're like, it's shock and trauma. And people that are smoking, or a lot of times, because like, why would somebody smoke? The only reason that somebody would smoke is one, two things. Either A, it was cool when you were like a kid and you wanted to fit in. Next thing you know, you're addicted to it. Or two, you're literally you're trying to self-mutilate yourself. Because why would you put toxic chemicals that you know is toxic in there? And then what happens is you don't even breathe, really. So you're just using what they call your secondary respiratory muscles, and you're not breathing into the diaphragm. So if you're like, I don't know what to do, just
breathe. Exactly. We do it every week on Change Your State, Elevate. Breathing is the best. So let me show them the vibe. I want to show them the vibe.
You have a visual?
I do. I have our 1 minute commercial.
Wow, I'm impressed. Go ahead. Go for it. Wow.
There it is. It's
Change
right there,
your vibe.
20 feet away from me right now.
On the other side of your tree.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the key is, how do you change your vibe to change your life? And, at the end of the day, anybody can make a vibrating bed. Anybody can make something vibrate. You can go online, you put a bunch of things in the, together, wire them up, and you got yourself something vibrating. We're going for a very specialized delivery system to exemplify and to optimize these programs that are designed specifically for human physiology. And it's the most, people always say to me, oh, Dr. Schwartz, you're not doing chiropractic anymore. And I say to them, I'm actually doing the highest expression of chiropractic, because chiropractic is not about just cracking the neck or adjusting the back. It's about removing interference from your nervous system. And so you can go in, and trust me, I love getting adjusted. I love having my neck adjusted. But if you're having interference in your nervous system that's really stuck from past trauma, that's anchored in different aspects of your body, from chemicals, from pathogens, from different past experiences. It all gets anchored into your water, which we don't have time to talk about right now. But the first chapter in my book is on optimal hydration and mineralization. Through that comes optimal cellular communication, and we can vibrate this communication through this water matrix of our intracellular fluid. And next thing you know, we can literally put in new information into your cells. Because think about it. How did trauma occur? External information came into your cells, and now it's in your cells. So if something that easy can get stuck in your cells, let's do something positive and get that stuck in your cells. And so we're just reversing the process, because in science, you know, when I've learned it in chemistry and biochemistry, I always say the arrows move in both directions. It's not a one-way street. So if something can go in, it can also go out. And so one of the things we did every Thursday, we do our community vibe call with all of our vibe owners, and we're in 15 countries around the world. And the best part of this company is our community. So we gather every Thursday.
It really, really is. I love being part of it. It's amazing.
Well, we're happy to have you here, and we get a chance to share all of this together on a show, an amazing show like this. But one thing we were talking about at the show, and this is one of my Schwartzisms, is that that if you lay in a field of harmonic resonant anything, only good things are going to happen. I just want to say that one more time. I want you guys to really get what I just said. If you lay in a field, the energy field of harmonic resonant, insert the blank, only good things are going to happen.
Yep.
Now, we created a device that you can put in your living room, in your clinic, in your center, or anything like that. And you can pick a program on an app that comes in that's called Vibrofile app, vibrofile.com, or you can download in all the app stores, Vibrophle, Vibrofile right here. But you can pick a program coupled with your intention, and then lay your body into a field of harmonic resonance. And that is a magical ingredient for manifestation and really creating an optimal environment for healing. Because when you lay in a field of harmonic resonant anything, only good things happen. If you're in a crappy divorce, you're not laying in a harmonic field. Well, nothing good's going to come from that. Well, exactly. I mean, you have to get out of it and say, oh, because of this, you know.
Yes, there's a gift in everything, right?
Yeah, but you could lay in a harmonic field of light, and that would be beneficial. You could yes.
So it's crazy how fast this goes. I could talk to you all night, but I have some other things I need to do and cover. But I want to make sure that everyone gets their gifts. So go to which one do they go to if they want the
they
bed?
Can go to our website, bioharmonictechnologies.com.
There it is. Tell them you came from Get Your Shit Together, and you get $111 discount, which is my number, 111. Super awesome. Tell them you're from Get Your Shit Together, and you have a free gift for them as well. If they enter this in, right? Amy Joy Vibes.
Amy Joy Vibes. If you go to Bioharmonic Technologies, go to shop, go to music. And in the music, you're going to see all of our musical collections. You can download for free one album of your choosing, whichever one. If you want to know which it is, you can read all about the descriptions in there. Just put in Amy Joy Vibes in the promo code, and you will get a free download of that. That does not apply to our full collection. But if you want to pick one single album, that's a free gift to you. And Amy, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the show. I've learned a lot, as much as contributing as a guest. I'm excited to explore my circle of happiness.
Yay, that's amazing. I'm going to have you on the end and be thinking about this question. If you were on a mountaintop and you only had one thing to express to the world and you had their full attention, what would that be in 1 or 2 sentences? So don't tell us yet. Think about that. And I'm going to remove you right here. I'm going to take you down, and we'll see you at the end. Thank you, Dr. Stephen Schwartz, Dr. Vibes. You're amazing. I appreciate you, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Woo! All right, it is time for Mantra Magic. Here is the mantra for the week. This is a way for us to reprogram our minds so that we get out of any negative loop that we tend to be in because we are 95% subconscious. And so here is your mantra for the week.
Hello, welcome to Mantra Magic. My name is Maria Ishali and this is Amy Joy. And today's mantra is a salutation to our inner guru and our inner wisdom. And it goes, Om Namo Gurudev Namo.
Greetings, I'm Angel Marie Monticelli, host of Energize You TV, every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. Go to Fresh Takes right here on E360 and get Reikified and energized today.
All right, we're back, and it's time for a meditation moment. This is where we take 5 minutes and we get present. Present to right here, right now. We get out of our past and our future and we become right here. So I would love for you to just take a seat, grab the kids, grab the grandkids, anybody around, and sit and just breathe for a minute. I'm going to play some beautiful music. The music from the video earlier was from the amazing Gary Malkin. He let me use his song, and this is the music for our meditation moment from Gary Malkin as well. You can find his stuff on Gaia TV. All right, take a deep breath in and exhale. And another deep breath in. And I want you to observe right now, how do you feel? Do you feel crappy or happy? There's no right or wrong, good or bad, just whatever is true. Just acknowledge it. Just see it. Observing your breath. And now I want you to ask yourself, what am I thinking? Are they thoughts of the past? Are they thoughts of the future? Or are you here right now? Neither is right or wrong, good or bad, just observe it. And breathe. I want you to visualize a candle flickering right between your eyebrows. Notice the golds, the whites, the yellows, the oranges. Now slide that candle into the middle of your head. It's right into the middle. Watch it flicker there. With your hands on your heart, I want you to think of one thing that you are so incredibly grateful for. So grateful it makes you smile. And while you're in this state, because we are all connected, I'm going to send you some loving energy, this activation. And all you have to do is set the intention to receive it, and you will. With a deep breath in, come back. And I'm going to bring Dr. Stephen back on. How was that for you?
Thank you. This is like the perfect middle of my afternoon.
Right? It's amazing what 5 minutes will do.
That's all it takes.
Right? I love it. I love it. I'm so grateful. So grateful to you. So grateful for your brain that allowed
You're not
you.
grateful for my brain, trust me.
Well, it created a whole lot of beautiful things, and you being a conduit to the divine to know what to do and to create.
Well, so you know who you need to thank for that?
Ooh, tell me.
Not my brain.
Okay.
My intuition.
I believe you, actually.
And in fact, if anything, my brain is like, I'm always working on keeping my brain at check. But my intuition is the star of the show. And I think that brings me to what you were going to ask me, to be on the top of the mountain, because a lot of people say that. They say, Dr. Schwartz, you're a genius. A lot of people call me a genius. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but people say that. But what I do know that I am, is I'm somebody that has a very attuned intuition. And so if on top of the mountain, I need to express to the world, this is what I call Pluto transformation.
Okay. And
the energy of Pluto is about death and rebirth. And it's about not just transformation, but it's about massive transformation.
So just so you know, we have a minute and a half.
Perfect. I can say this. So in short, massive transformation. What is that idea or that intuition that's hit you, that something that's hit you, that it's almost so embarrassing, you don't even want to share it with your friends or your loved one or even yourself, but it's something that has come to you intuitively? If that feels in resonant with you, then I invite you to pursue that.
Yep.
And the road might be the 7 needs, uncertain. It might be hard. It could create maybe not the highest joys of your life at times. However, if you commit to that, I'd be willing to bet that it's going to be the most fulfilling thing that you will do in your life. And it's probably your life work.
Yes.
And that is what I refer to as Pluto transformation. And these are some of the aspects that we work with as well, too, is not just about getting you out of chronic illness, but how do you step into, that's the opposite of chronic illness. It's death and rebirth at the highest level of what is your Pluto transformational aspects. And we're doing workshops and things like that with that. So reach out to me and we can talk more about it. But that's
Please do. Please reach out to Stephen. You have it right there on the screen. Take a picture. It's in the chat. Thank you, Stephen. Such an amazing time. Thank you. Those of you who have spent your hour with us, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a glorious evening. Remember that together we vibrate higher. And that, my friends, changes the world. Have a glorious evening. I'll see you on the other side. I love you dearly. Besos. Mwah.
Bezos.
Thank you for watching Get Your Shit Together live with Amy Joy. If you'd like to follow us, you can on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Amy Joy Coaching. Appreciate so much your likes, comments, and shares. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, please reach out. We'll see you next time.